You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Cult of Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
And today we're continuing on with Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2 with Episode 7. What the fuck was this called?
Oh, shit.
Delusion.
Delusion.
Who was behind this episode, Eric?
So this episode was written by Hank Chilton, which actually does sound familiar, but I'm not ringing the bell.
I'm on the wiki here. Let's see if he's done anything else.
Okay. I'm very curious about the writer of this episode, actually.
No, he doesn't have any other Ash vs. Evil Dead credits.
Okay, interesting.
And he doesn't have a linkable name, so I have to go to IMDb for that.
Interesting.
But
okay,
yeah, I might check IMDb while you're breaking them.
And then we've got Mark Beasley as the director, which that is a familiar name to us, I do believe.
Yeah, I believe he did the previous episode.
Yeah. Oh,
I think he's done a few episodes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's definitely done more than just this one. Did he? He did. He directed the previous episode. So, and I think I kind of like this director.
So Hank Chilton actually is a co-executive producer on a lot of the episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Really? Okay, so he's usually,
it looks like he co-executive produced like pretty much the entire second season. It looks like.
No kidding. So he's
now as far as writing goes.
Yeah.
As far as writing goes, he wrote 15 episodes. Or no, 8 episodes. No, 15. He wrote 15 episodes of that show Nip Tuck.
Oh,
about the plastic surgeons.
Yeah.
He wrote 3 episodes of a show called The Ringer. I've never heard of.
I've at least heard the name of that.
He wrote 3 episodes of a show called Covert Affairs and 1 episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh,
but
all right. So
for the most part,
he does have.
It looks like he produces a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, I think that's easier than writing. If you have the money to throw at it, be an executive director. I mean, producer.
He also served as story editor on a few episodes of Nip Tuck and a couple other things.
Cool.
So yeah, he's out there. He directed an episode of Nip Tuck, 2 episodes of Nip Tuck. So he was pretty heavily involved in that Nip Tuck show.
Yeah, he must.
Which I have never seen any of it.
No, I haven't seen anything of it either. But it was a pretty big deal back whenever it was being
for a
released.
While.
Yeah, it's not still going, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was gonna say, dear Lord, some things just need to end every now and again, people.
Every now and then, yeah. There's usually some shows that should end.
So I was pretty interested in this writer because, like, I was kind of noticing in the story some allusions to some pretty old stuff that I'll get into later that I thought was kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting this kind of nuance out of the show at this juncture, really, but
no, this was super refreshing.
Cool. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, full disclosure, we at the Cult here, we've been kind of struggling with the season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead just because it's getting a little repetitive.
Yeah, it got to be a bit of a slog, and it did get a little. I think me and Ben made that point a little clear.
Yeah, you guys did not have a fun time with Trapped Inside.
No, we didn't. But
you guys were not having a fun one with that one. Yeah, Ash vs. Evil Dead season 2 has just been a little bit repetitive. It just seems like some of the episodes are drug on way too long.
Yeah.
But this one kind of gave us a little, a nice change of pace, change of scenery. I got to see. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I really liked this episode. It was really refreshing, actually.
It was.
So, yeah, more than a little for me. This is a bit redeeming. A bit.
Yeah, because you gave Trapped Inside. You guys gave that like
it was such
two each. I'm pretty sure. Like you guys, I think Ben gave it like a 1.
Yeah, yep, that sounds right if I remember correctly. And I wasn't much better.
No, I think you gave it like a 2. I'm pretty sure you gave it just a little extra.
That sounds
a little more
right.
than him.
Yep, we want something new. Dang it!
Well, we kind of
got it. Yeah, this was.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they were kind of holding their card up their sleeve, you know what I mean? Kind of just
maybe
treading water, waiting for this, or the big.
Yeah, because it looks like on Wiki here, you can see like the viewership of it. So it looks like Home started out with like a 0.4, and it looks like it kind of progressively dropped.
Oh no!
Up until this episode. So it looks like episode 2, it went from 436 down to 333.
Oh, wow.
Then episode 3, it went to 321.
No.
Episode 4, it went to 274.
Oh.
Episode 5, it went to 274, so it leveled out there.
Okay.
And then when Trapped Inside came along, it bumped up to 330.
Oh.
And then this one, it came up to a 337. So
okay.
it kind of, this right here, I think, is the second highest.
Started us on an upswing, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, this was the second most watched episode of the season.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's good. It deserves it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get right into it.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and let's get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
We have now changed locations for the first time this season.
Yes.
We're no longer loafing around. What is it called? Elk Grove?
Elk Grove,
the
yes.
town. Yeah, we're not
town.
we're not in the Elk Grove town, and we're not in the Williams house.
Right.
We're now in some nondescript, seedy mental institution.
Yes. And it takes forever for us to realize that because he kind of he wakes up after, oh boy, there was some sort of dream or delusion he was having.
There was a bunch of clips of the Evil Dead.
That's
Yeah,
right. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Flashing around, and then he wakes up, and it's kind of like the camera is not giving us much about the room around him at first, so it was already very unsettling, and it lets you know right away you're not in Kansas anymore. But where are you? So it sets up the rest of this episode pretty well when it comes to like kind of that wonder and mystery.
And as far as we know, the last thing we saw in Trapped Inside was Ash getting knocked out by Ball.
Yes.
So this continues right off that. So as far as we know, he's waking up in his bed because his room and the Williams house is pretty seedy and
right. Yeah, it could have been
looking anyways.
Yeah, he really could have been anywhere for the first like long 30 seconds of this scene. You know what I mean? And
right.
So, no, and he looked really confused about it too, but he still had that bump on his head. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is a dream or not.
And then we're introduced to Dr. Peacock. Is his name.
Peacock. Yes, who looks a little familiar.
He does look a little familiar. He looks a lot like that Bill guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling Ash about how he's getting progressively violent. He's here to cure him. He murdered those 4 people in the cabin when he was a kid. And he made up this delusion and about a book. And he's here to help him destroy the delusion.
Destroy the delusion. He wants, yes. Now,
and Ash has like a rare moment of like clarity here where he like sees right through it.
Oh, yeah. No, and I kind of thought that might be the case with Ball. Like what might make Ash so special is that as El Jefe is really, he's just so stupidly bullheaded that he's going to cut through the crap that Ball tries to spin around him. You know what I mean? So so he really was just kind of like, yeah, no, I know what I fucking saw. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And he automatically knows like the plan, like too. He's like, you want me to destroy the delusion, huh? He's like, you want me to destroy the book because he knows it's the only way it's the only way they can send you back. Like he sees like right through Ball's plan.
Yeah.
Calls him Bill, which I love. He's like, you're that demon Bill.
You're that demon Bill. And there was a line later when he gets kicked in the balls where he's like, "Oh, my Bill's ball," or something like that. It was great.
My balls, Bill.
Yeah. My balls, Bill. That was it. Oh, it was funny.
And then also like too in that little moment where they get in the scuffle, he kind of attacks Dr. Peacock.
Yep.
And he tells him like what did he tell him? Like, I'm gonna kill you like I killed your father.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't really kill your father, but it sounded cool.
I am so glad you remembered that line.
Yeah.
That was so great. But they set it up really. And so right off the bat, here's the kind of genius of this episode. I think that this was a callback to a very, very, very old movie made back in 1920 called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And it's one of the first, I think it's one of the first twists, like in film, really big twists, where it's like it was all a dream delusion, right? This protagonist goes through this whole storyline and stuff. And at the very end, he wakes up, spoiler alert, I guess, for this 1920s film. He wakes up and he's in an insane asylum, and all of the doctor is the bad guy, and all of the some of the patients and some of the orderlies are people that he was interacting with throughout the plot, like as people, you know what I mean? And then he wakes up and he's in an insane, he doesn't wake up and realize it. The audience does. So that's,
so J.J. Abrams has seen that one.
Right? Exactly. And apparently
that's what we got the blame for that. Fucking House of Caligari.
It worked one time, and from there everyone's like, oh yeah, let's just do that.
We can do that.
It was very nuanced at the time. And actually, I think they're making a reference to it with this episode, really.
Oh,
that's
for sure. Yeah.
Here.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I like the way that Hank handles this better than JJ. Yeah, I think.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
So
it's a lot less infuriating.
There's my film school tangents. But anyhow, so that's what's neat about this episode. Because then we find out that Ruby is also
Ruby's the orderly, right?
Yep, she's the
orderly. She comes in and it's like Dr. Peacock he sedates Ash, right?
Yes, he does. Like Ash says something. I think he kind of hits the nail on the head with something with Ball that I can't quite remember, because that's when Ball sticks him. You know what I mean? And so I almost wondered. That's where I was kind of like, yes, okay. He really is still a demon. You know, he's retaliating against something Ash said, but still trying to stay in character. So he gets him sedated, I think back in the bed, because Ruby comes in with a catheter.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Ruby comes with a catheter,
ready to go.
So that's the first character. Well, I guess the second character technically we see we know who they are, but they're not themselves in this setting.
Yeah, she's in a very like nurse outfit, and they have this.
She's even doing like an accent, I think, too. She's doing some kind of like voice.
Yeah,
some kind of she changed her voice a little bit.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell if that was a reference or not. Oh no, did I skip over the puppet, or is the puppet yet to come?
No, the puppet is yet to come.
Okay,
or no, I think the puppet comes in like right here. I think the puppet he gets him in the bed.
Yeah,
and then he reveals that he's got his something that's going to help him destroy the delusion.
Yes,
and it's Ashy Slashy.
Ashy Slashy.
and this is where pretty much like all the nuance in the cover. I think this is actually after. I literally just watched this episode.
I know. Well, it was all in the first act. All of this was kind of
right, because I'm wondering if this happened before. I don't think he's seen Ashy Slashy yet.
Right.
I think Ashy Slashy comes in after he escapes that first time and goes to Kelly's room.
Yeah.
And then they detain him and put him back in bed, and that's where we meet Ashy Slashy. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah.
Because Kelly is in the mental institution as well.
Yes,
but she's not Kelly.
No,
she's Amanda. Is what she calls herself, Amanda. That's what we find out later is her name.
Okay, yes.
Because we find out Pablo is Reg. She's Amanda.
Reg the orderly.
He does. Ashy Slash is introduced before he escapes me, Kelly.
Okay.
That's when he kind of escapes because the Dr. Peacock reveals Ashy Slashy, which is this little puppet.
Yes,
this little puppet Ash.
Puppet. Yeah, a very handsome.
Yeah,
puppet.
A little hand puppet of Ash. It's got a little chainsaw on its hand and everything.
Yep, even
just
has
a little tiny mini Ash.
Yeah, yep. And he wears them on his hand. His hand is like the hand that's supposed to be missing is like covered in this gauze mitten, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But then he puts this puppet on his hand and it starts talking to him. It doesn't even use. I love that it's not even his voice, is it? Or at least
no, it's a different voice. Yeah, it's that's one of the things I did like about it too, is it's not just an Ash voice, it's someone else. I have to see who did the voice of Ashy Slashy, but there's a line I like too early on in the episode where when Dr. Peacock reveals himself and he's like, I'm a doctor, and Ash is like, doctor. He's like, I don't go to doctors. He's like, I don't have health insurance, so I do my own damn surgeries. He raises his hand.
Yes. I do my own damn surgeries. And that's when we reveal the gauze mitten
Yeah,
That was
he
so
calls him in.
funny.
Yes.
Oh my god, doctor! I don't go to doctors.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know who
man.
does the voice of Ashy Slash. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it real
Yeah, I was
quick.
kind of trying to take a see.
Ashy Slashy
Slashy
voice. There we go. Ashy Slashy voice.
Jeremy Dillon. There's no link.
Jeremy Dillon.
There's no link. I wonder who Jeremy Dillon is. It's investigation time. Michael, cue the investigation music.
Dun 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 dun.
I'm out of breath.
I don't think he has any other credits.
Really? No other credits? Jeremy? Oh, I already forgot.
No other credits for this dude here.
Darned.
He's a puppet guy. He's just a puppet guy.
He's just a puppet guy. He just does
he's
puppets.
a puppet dude. That's what it looks like.
Huh.
I found a picture of him here, and he's just in his little office, and he's got Muppets behind him and stuff. So
interesting.
he,
Okay. Well, there
he
we
must.
go.
He's just a puppet dude.
Just
I
a
don't know. He
puppet
just
guy.
likes puppets.
Jeremy Dillon, the puppet guy.
Jeremy Dillon.
Yep.
He did a really good job as
He did.
Ashy
He
Slashy.
was very convincing, Ashy Slashy. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I really did. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I found a website for him. Yeah, he only has the one credit. He's a voice actor, but he just does
that makes sense. Yeah, I could
just
see
did this one thing.
I could see you being a voice actor if you were also a ventriloquist. Those two career choices seem to match up well. Yeah.
Right. That's just weird though. He's only got one role that he's known for. He must travel with the Hanson family or the Hanson company or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
All right, where are we at here?
So we're meeting Ashley.
So we also are introduced to Pablo, who is
Reg the orderly. Also,
well, I think we'll talk about Ashy Slashy. So he Ashy Slashy, we find out has his own voice. He's pretty much like breaks all the delusion that this is really happening, because this is where we get introduced to like the more in your face supernatural aspect of things with Ashy Slashy.
Right.
Kind of like leaps off, like kind of just appears on his hand and is moving and talking himself. And I like it when Ash finally throws him off of his hand and he like hits the wall and slides down. There's like a blood streak behind his head as he slides down the wall.
Oh, nice. Yes. I forgot about that.
And then this is where he escapes. We meet Kelly, aka Amanda, and she is a fucking psycho. She's in her room alone. She's got all these like tally marks carved in there, and she keeps track of time. She tells him
that's what she's
does. Like I keep track of time. She tells him how long she's been in there.
Yep.
How long he's been in there. And he's like, how do you know that? She's like, I really good at keeping track of time. She's like, you want to see how I do it? And then just starts snapping her fingers. She's like, 1
snap,
2, like
snap,
and
like she
calls him a murderer, which is a big thing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, breaks all of her fingers.
All of them.
I'm thinking like that's not an efficient way to count at all. Like, you can't do that like every day.
It's not. And I think Ash was even like, "You're gonna run out of fingers."
Yeah.
As he's like backing away, like, let me out of here. And I like how later, like for the rest of the episode, she just has like gauze wrapped around her hand. It's fine. Like she just bent her fucking fingers all the fucking way back on her. So she gets
so Ash gets the hell out of there, and I think this is where we're introduced to Reg, right? Pablo. I think Pablo's one that takes him down.
Yep. And he's
they
a badass.
Subdue him.
Yep, he's real tough.
Yeah,
has this really intense look. It's nice to know that the actor can pull off tough. Like, good for him. So it's really probably just the direction he's getting that's just like, come on, and the writing.
Oh yeah,
but good for you, actor.
So Reg and the other orderlies like subdue him, and then we get to later he's like hanging out in the rec room, I guess, and I'm pretty sure when he's hanging out in this rec room, he's watching TV. I'm pretty sure he's watching a Bruce movie.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure on the TV there's a movie playing. I'm pretty sure it's some Bruce Campbell movie.
I didn't catch that.
I think it's this movie. There's a movie that he did. I'm gonna look up here real quick. If you want to go ahead and keep talking.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
No,
because actually, I think there's another reference in this scene, like that very first shot when he's watching the TV.
Yeah.
And time kind of speeds past, and you see things zipping around. It reminded me of one of the first few shots of Bubba Hotep, where they kind of did that while he was laying in the bed at the hospital. So I wonder if they were making a little bit of a reference there, or I mean, obviously Bubba Hotep's not the first movie to do that, but that's the first one with Bruce in it that I'd seen do that. So it could very well be. Yeah, a lot of neat things in this episode. I'll have to look up the cinematographer too, because
The movie I'm pretty sure he was watching. I'm trying to find it to verify it, but they shot it in a way where you see like the guy on the TV screen, but just his face is obscured by the glare of the lights. And I know that's like that had to be intentional because there's a movie he did like in the early '90s, maybe late '80s. Where him and he has like a small role in it, and he and Quentin Tarantino play orderlies in a mental institution.
Oh, okay.
But it's like there's like little cameos. It's like a cameo thing, and I think it was shot in black and white too.
Oh, neat.
And I think that's what that was from.
Huh. Okay.
But I can't really find anything to verify that. But
well, if
it
anyone
looked
can
like
verify
Bruce.
that for us, because like I wonder if they did do that so that they could like they wouldn't have to buy the rights or something, or if they couldn't just for that one little clip, just put that beam of light.
And it would fit too, like with him being a in a mental institution. And,
oh yeah, it's a nice
this
nod.
being
this
Eddie Presley is what the movie's called.
Eddie Presley. Okay.
Eddie Presley.
Well, that's a sharp eye.
It was shot in black and white.
Yeah.
It was shot in black and white. Yeah, him and Quentin Tarantino play play two orderlies and like a cameo bit of it.
Okay.
But I think that's what it was. I could be wrong, but it looked like Bruce on the screen, and the way they shot it, where just his face was obscured by the light. I was like, yeah, it just looks like it might be Bruce, but could be wrong. If anyone knows, reach out, let us know.
Yeah,
I'd be interested.
Is Tyler
92 is when that movie came out. 92 is when that came out.
Oh wow, I was just a wee child.
Yeah, so it's Bruce and Tarantino. I want to see it, but it's one of those movies too that is like impossible to find.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm pretty sure
I didn't even know.
I'm pretty sure it's a bit role.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Bruce and Tarantino had a connection in their career. So that is pretty obscure.
There we go. They have a couple connections. Have you ever seen Machete 2? Machete Kills?
I haven't seen it, but I know of this movie.
There's Bruce is in that for like literally like a fraction of a second. Like a literal fraction of a second of that movie. So like there's a part where Mel Gibson is the villain in the movie. And he like snaps and just starts shooting his henchmen, like killing his henchmen. And it does like this like rotating shot of like, all his henchmen are standing and he's, just going around and he's shooting them dead, you know what I mean? And one of them is just Bruce Campbell. Like it's just like a snap of fingers, just Bruce Campbell. He's just like dead, just on the next one. Like
he
no
just
doesn't stop or establish or anything. It's Bruce Campbell just there for like a split second.
Like he just walked on set one day and they were like, "Hey, you want to be a part of this?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, sure."
And like I've tried to look it up and stuff, and like there's not even really any like info on it. I can't even find like any pictures of it, but.
Are you sure it wasn't a delusion?
It may be, maybe it is. I'll have to watch that movie again. The movie's shitty. I didn't really enjoy the movie. I like the first one, but the second one is.
Yeah, just try to see if you can find that scene and slow it. Just do the frame by frame.
Let's see here.
Yeah, you'll be able to find him.
Oh yeah, I found him. Yeah, he's here. I found a picture of it.
Oh, you have it right now. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I went and I found.
Look at you go. We didn't even have to play the research.
Yes, Google. If you Google search Bruce Campbell Machete Kills, it's just like literally like
oh my gosh,
a shot. Like it's just like snap your fingers, you blink and you miss it. Like literally blink and you miss it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So back to Ash vs. Evil Dead. Now we established that Bruce is in Machete Kills.
In Machete Kills, yep. Bruce Campbell in Machete Kills,
which is produced by Tarantino. That's where we got to this from.
Oh yes,
Tarantino produces
in a cameo with
Machete Kills.
Bruce Campbell, who is in the series that we're talking about.
Yep. So Kelly comes to him, and Kelly is like kind of she's like on his side, kind of, I guess. She's like, or at least she's delusional enough to where she thinks that they're like on the same level.
Well, we kind of find out that she like thinks that they were talking about something else. Apparently,
she's
like, no, we had to kill the dragon demon.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, we talked about this, right?
I like that bit too cool. when they get into that about the demons. There's a bit in there too where she's like telling him like, I want to, we got to escape and all this. And he's like, I got a plan. And the plan is just to like incite kind of like a little riot in the orderly's office. Well, first he tries to go talk to Ruby,
who basically,
and she's like, she is not having it.
She basically tells him to fuck off. She's
right.
like, nope, step away, killer. And then everyone's giving him the killer eyes. But I love what she was doing in there. She was feeding this like woman who was apparently like catatonic. This is just too funny to me. And she's like got this goop that she's spooning into this woman's agape mouth. And it's just globbing in there. And so I'm, of course, watching this because I'm just OCD as fuck when it comes to stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
And it's just globbing into this woman's mouth as it's hanging open. And then as the dialogue is just going back and forth, like you cut back to her at one point and she is holding the woman's nose. Ruby is holding the woman's nose shut until she swallows the food in her mouth and without missing a beat in the dialogue. That was what was so brilliant to me. It was just something going on in the background that just had nothing. It was funny as fuck. Okay. Anyway,
good attention to detail.
Thank you. Well, goopy stuff does draw my attention. I hate it.
It does. you have a pretty good history with goopy stuff.
Yeah, pretty nasty. But
made a career out of it. Made a career out of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely made a career out of it. We'll say that. That's fine. Oh no, it's a terrible track record.
Oh god.
Anyway, so that was pretty clever. Ruby shows off some of her nursing skills as she tells Ash to fuck off.
Kelly comes in and Kelly's telling him we got to escape. And this is where he kind of incites this little riot by picking up a chair and smashing the TV.
Yep.
And that sets off all the other
everybody
mental
else.
Patients.
Yep. They start going crazy, hiding in corners and screaming or joining in the mayhem. And
then Bruce and Kelly make their escape. They kill Pablo, right? Or Reg?
Not yet. So while they're making their escape, they kind of Reg comes in, Pablo comes in, and they subdue Ash, and that's when he gets his hands on the name card, the key card that was on Reg's badge, and I think they get him put away again first before he makes his escape attempt because he held on to it.
Right.
And they get him back to his room, and I think he's got another conversation with Puppet Ashy Slashy before him and Kelly kind of get together.
Yeah, because he kind of takes Ashy Slashy along with him.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, he's along for the ride too. I like that Kelly's character can't hear the puppet.
No, she can't.
They establish that in a pretty funny way. They're just really clever with their dialogue.
So I know they like are skulking around the place for a little while.
Yeah, and then they see Reg. He's kind of starting to doze off right by the exit gate. There's like these bars and the hallway continues, but it looks like that's the way out because you need a key card to get through. And Kelly has some pills with her, and she says that she'll distract him. So she starts throwing pills in different directions to make sounds so that Reg, he wakes up and he's like, what's this? And he's looking around and she tosses a pill somewhere else. He's kind of following the sound until they manage to ambush him. That's where it really starts to go down. The card isn't working, and I think that's where Ash turns around to see Kelly's arms covered in blood.
Yep.
And that's where Reg is now dead.
Yep, she killed Reg because he's apparently a dragon demon.
A dragon demon. She's like, we talked about this. He's like, no, we did not.
There's no dragons in the Necronomicon. I like it too, where he's like, there's demons. There's a demon that flies around like a dragon and stuff like that. And like, he's like, she's like, well, what are they? And, vampires? He's like, no, not vampires. They don't. What's something like light? They don't explode when they hit light. Oh, except for the one time it did work.
Yeah. That was so funny. The sunlight, sunlight. Except for that one time it did work. And then they not vampires. That would be bloodites or something.
Bloodites.
Bloodites. That back and forth was really funny, except for the one time it did. Like,
they point out the flaws in the continuity. I love that.
Yes.
And
that was so
then they get the orderlies come around the corner, and because she kind of starts telling him, like, I'm not Kelly.
Yeah.
That's not Pablo. That's Reg.
Right.
I'm not Kelly. I'm Amanda.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm not Kelly, I'm Amanda. And then that's when all the orderlies come around. He kind of like snaps out of it, I guess.
Yeah. And
To where
realizes,
he looks around and now there's a girl there dead.
yep, she's got her
And
jaw
there's-
pulled out, and
Yep, Reg has his face peeled off.
Yeah, and
He's like, I didn't do it. Then like in his hand, Ashy Slashy has the girl's jaw in his mouth.
Yep,
And he's like, yes, you did, because you're a murderer.
dun
like,
dun dun. Yep, yeah. It's like, oh no, he really is. We're totally falling for it too. No,
yeah. And he the orderly subdue him again, take him to the Dr. Peacock's room.
Yep.
To where he kind of like starts to break him down and convince him that, this. So he brings in Linda. Linda comes in.
Yes. Oh, we missed Ted earlier.
We did miss Ted.
And the Electro.
Yeah, because Ted gets fried. He fucking
gets
fried
fucking
Ted.
fried. That happened at some point earlier on in this episode.
Yeah, because they tell him, he's like talking to. He's getting like shock therapy.
Yeah. And
he looks over at one point and there's Ted next to him getting shock therapied. And he tells him like, he's like, you're dead. He's like, what's his sister's name?
Oh no.
Oh, I know.
I had you do a whole thing for this.
I did.
Linda. Is it Linda?
Linda.
It's
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
He's like, Cheryl ripped your heart out. And he's like, oh, no kidding. Years ago when you killed her.
Yeah. I've been dead for 30 years. Yep.
He gets fried.
Yep.
So he's dead again.
Yep. You killed my friend again.
Yeah, you killed him again. It's not cool.
Yeah.
And so when he's subdued here in the end, they bring Linda in, who is the sheriff's wife, and as we know her, and she kind of like assists in breaking him down about his past.
Yeah.
And he finally just kind of you can kind of tell he like kind of snaps to where he just admits everything, that he killed him.
Yeah.
He's a murderer. And Dr. Peacock is like, you have to destroy the book.
And he's
like,
okay,
yes, must destroy the book.
And it's like, well, fuck. The book is Pablo.
Yeah, that's a weird. Yeah, so he gets up and he like walks out, and then we cut to these drawings that Dr. Peacock had of the Necronomicon.
Yep.
And it like a gust of wind like blows the papers around, and there's like a stick drawing of Pablo that's like Hefe. and then it ends.
Yep. And that was
I don't know if we do or not, honestly. I want like a little stick Pablo to be a character now.
And like come up out of the page and start attacking people. Yeah.
Oh, there you have it. That was Delusion.
Yeah, Delusion. Pretty good episode for as far as season 2 goes. Yeah, I was really happy with this episode. Happy to be
saving
watching.
grace this season, I feel like.
So far, yeah. They are starting to redeem themselves a little bit more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's rate this. Let's talk about the quality Campbell here, or I guess rating the episode in our next segment.
Shop smart. Shop S-smart.
Delusion, Ash vs. Evil Dead, season 2, episode 7. It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Finally, an interesting one.
We finally kind of changed our setting for the season, really, since Jacksonville. Like, we were in Jacksonville, then Ash's hometown, and now we're in Asylum. So it's a whole new set for them to play with, and I think they did a really good job with that. Overall,
we're finally getting some of that character development you and Ben are always going on about.
Yeah, we're getting some of that character development.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he got
finally getting here.
Doesn't look like it's going in a good direction, though. He's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I do have to destroy the book. Dun dun dun. And I like
the next episode is pretty wild.
Yeah, we see.
I know you haven't seen it, but the next episode gets pretty wild because we get to see. This is kind of where I was like hoping the season would get to.
Yeah,
sooner rather than later before Ben and you like gave up on it. I was like, hang on to these.
Like,
I just want to give it away.
Out? Yeah.
It's pretty interesting here.
This is a neat. So this is what is making Ball really cool to me. This kind of episode here, like, we saw him kind of rouse a mob, would you say? I don't know. He got a mob around trying to kill Ash and stuff like that. So he's super manipulative. And then, we're kind of seeing what it is when he's got to really try to manipulate somebody. Because, for everybody else, it's pretty simple. He just starts talking. And I think he even points that out as the doctor. He's like, most patients aren't this difficult. He said, most patients just see my point of view the moment I start talking.
Right, yeah. 'Cause Ball is like a manipulator, and for whatever reason, Ash is able to, he's just dumb enough to not fall for it.
Yeah, and so we kind of get to see what Ball's made of, like what he's really got to do to manipulate somebody when he's really got to try. He's got to build this whole fucking story around it and try to manipulate him into this. I think that's what makes Ash El Jefe. I think it's his stubborn bullheadedness. Shoot first, think never. If you don't think, Ball can't manipulate your thoughts.
True. Maybe that is it. Maybe that's the whole thing. So,
that's kind of so that seeing that sort of stuff playing out is really redeeming this for me. And of course, Ash is playing off of the set and the storyline beautifully. Overall, I was pretty darn happy with this episode. Are we ready for me to throw a number at this thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rate it. I think we've talked about it enough to where I think people pretty much
get the idea.
I guess what we're thinking about this. Yeah.
So Ty, I'm gonna give it. Fuck it. 4 out of 5 Kelly Jaws.
Oh,
yeah, it was a pretty good one. I like to reward good behavior, and I think that they were super creative with this episode, and it might
huge uptick from last episode.
Huge uptick, yes, big time. Now, episodes like this, I feel like sometimes episodes like this are the reason that we have shitty episodes, because it's like, all right, we just need to fill a little time so we can meet whatever quota of episodes. But that's fine. Right. I'll take it because this episode was worth it. I'm very glad that I was here to watch it and cover it. 4 out of 5.
I'm going to give it. I'm going to go and follow suit. I'm going to give it 4. Stick Pablos.
4 Stick Pablos. I like that.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. All right.
Yeah,
there we go.
I did enjoy this, and it was a huge, refreshing change of pace and setting and just direction than what we've seen previously in the season. So I'm very, very engaged at this point. So
yes,
hopefully the season can continue this. Yeah, definitely, because it was getting pretty much like a chore.
Yeah.
To cover this second season. So I'm glad that we're able to get something here that we enjoy and we can see where things go from this point.
Yeah. So very fun one. Liked the themes, liked the references that I at least was picking out. I couldn't confirm the Caligari reference, but I'm telling you, that's what that was. This episode.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Cool. This was a good one. 4 out of 5. All around.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right.
Way to go, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Good job,
you won us
Ash.
back.
Good job, Hank. Good job, Mark.
Yep.
We'll see how things go next episode. I'm good. Yeah, it's called Ashy Slashy. Sorry, I'm peeking ahead. Not the same director or writer next time. So we'll see how they do.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So, right. But until next time, you guys can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Cult Talk Net, where we have all of our social media. We keep you guys updated on everything, not just Cult of Campbell, but Cult Talk Weird Shit. Which comes out every other Wednesday at this time.
Yes.
Cult of Lore, which comes out every first and third Thursday of the month.
Yep.
That's a YouTube exclusive at Cult Talk Net.
That's right.
We have more stuff coming on the pipeline. Cult of Campbell will be going to bi-weekly once Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2 is wrapped.
Yes.
We'll be only doing bi-weekly episodes so we can focus on these other projects we have that I think you guys are really going to enjoy.
Yes.
So 3 more episodes after this for the weekly episodes, and then we will go to bi-weekly. But we will have enough content where it should fill the void.
Oh yes,
and you guys won't be missing anything.
Your Cult of Campbell or your Cult Talk friends.
Yes.
For a moment longer than you need to be.
Right.
we
I think next week we have a rare Bruce film. We've got In the Line of Duty, Blaze of Glory.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be here next Monday, which unfortunately Eric watched and didn't get to talk about.
I didn't get to cover it, but I did watch it. So I'm interested to see what you and Ursa thought about it.
Yeah, it was interesting. So
right.
We have that coming out. We'll have another episode of Ashley Will Death for that. And then on Valentine's Day, save the date. You can spend Valentine's Day with Eric and I, because we will have a very special Valentine's Day episode.
Yes.
February 14th.
We're going to set the
It's a Monday. That's Campbell Day, and we're going to give you guys something special for the Valentine's.
It's going to be so
you can spend it with
romantic,
us.
you guys. Yeah. You, us, and a glass of wine by a fireside.
And Bruce.
Could be better.
And Bruce.
Oh, my goodness. And Bruce. And maybe somebody else that we know.
Yeah, maybe even another old friend might show up, might join in.
Yep.
So
that sounds like
a lot of stuff coming on the pipeline, guys. I think you guys should enjoy what we have coming out for 2022.
Yeah.
And until next time, just remember, stay groovy.
Hail to the king, baby. That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.